Hello and welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I'm going to be starting off with the Booktube Newbie Tag, just because I thought it would be a good video to kind of get me into the swing of things, introduce myself to the Booktube community, and yeah, just a fun way to get to know everyone. Okay, and starting off with the first question, it is, why do you want to start this channel? So I've wanted to start a Booktube channel for quite a while, but never really had the confidence to do it, or kind of time, I suppose. Not that I have the time now. I'm currently studying English literature at uni and I love it. You get to talk about books all the time, you get to read all the time, but the kind of books that I talk about in class and read in class are much more literary based, which I'm fine with. Well, most of the time I'm fine with. Some of them I don't like, some of them I do like. But I thought this channel would just be good to talk about kind of my other bookish interests like fantasy, YA, that kind of thing, because I don't really get to talk about that at uni. I also thought it would be a good way of meeting other people that have similar bookish interests with me. I have a few people that read the same thing, most of the time because I force them to read it, more less so than they actually want to read it. But yeah, I just want to meet some people that have similar interests and talk bookish stuff with people. Okay, second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Oh, this is a hard question. Some fun and unique things that I could bring to Booktube is, well, unique is me, because I'm one of a kind, and I don't know if it's fun, but as I study English literature, I'm constantly learning new ways to kind of talk about books, think about books, read books, and kind of, not analytical, but just think more about books. What are you most excited about for this channel? So, that would probably be the community for it and creating content. It's probably one of the things I'm most nervous about and excited about, because I'm someone that kind of finds talking to new people quite difficult, but I love to talk about books and I want people to talk about books with. So that would be really fun to find people that have similar interests to me. Yeah, just in the same community, talking about things and creating content that I like and talking about things that I'm passionate about will be really fun for me, because I like to do that, apparently, because I'm going to do it now. I don't know how I know that because I haven't done it yet, but I will. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses on, so I keep going down to read it really close, but it's okay. Why do you love reading? Why would you not love reading is the question that most people should be asking. I love reading because it's a kind of escapism from, not reality because that sounds really bad, but it's a way to access different worlds that you wouldn't ever experience otherwise, whether that's fantasy, where it's a completely different world that's out of someone's imagination, or contemporary, where it's just someone's life that you're experiencing from a different perspective, or just different events that happen that you could never, would unlikely happen in your own life, because we don't live in books, sadly. What book or series got you into reading? Okay, that's a difficult one, because I've always been a reader. It's always just, we've always had books around the house. Ever since I can remember, I've just read. It was very strongly influenced by my family, and my grandparents always read to us, my brother always read, my mum always read to us as kids, and then it just kind of snowballed, I suppose. I suppose there are certain books that I kind of remember as being in love with as a child. So there were those fairy books where it was like Ruby the Red Fairy or something like that. I had hundreds of those and I remember reading them in the playground like a true nerd. I suppose what got me into fantasy, which is kind of like my favourite genre now, and what I mostly read outside of uni, which sadly is not a lot, would be the Throne of Glass series. That was the first one I picked up when I was about 14, 15 maybe. And yeah, that's probably what got me into fantasy. So if it's what got me into reading fantasy, that would be the answer. So let's change that question slightly. What question would you ask your favourite booktubers? I have no idea. What's your favourite book? I hate that question because that's just an impossible question. You can't answer that question, so I wouldn't answer that. What would I ask my favourite booktubers? What's their favourite thing about Booktube, and what would they say that every booktuber has to do in their time? Like what video they have to create, or event they should go to, or something like that. Because everything is about experiencing in life, and we've got to experience it to the full. Right, Boo? My cat's just there. That's why I'm talking to the cat. And she's giving me very bad looks because she doesn't like me talking. Shall Boo? What challenges do you think starting a Booktube channel will be hardest to overcome? Talking to a camera is very difficult, and as you can tell, I laugh a lot because I'm nervous. Yeah, So that'll be a challenge, to become completely comfortable in front of a camera. I suppose mainly we'll be fitting it in around uni. At the moment I'm on my Christmas break and I have work, which is going to be what my challenge is at the moment to fit it around. But uni will be the difficult one because it's a lot of reading. Not a lot of uni time, barely in uni, but a lot of reading, and that takes up a lot of time. I'm not the fastest reader for someone that has read a lot. I don't read fast, I'm very slow, so that will be a challenge to fit it in around. But it's one I'm willing to take on and hopefully overcome. We shall see though. We shall see. Number 8. When did you start reading? I think I covered that. I've always read, I think. I go through phases where I don't read, more so in my later years when school gets a bit much and uni gets a bit much. And that's not good because I have to read for uni. So if I'm not reading then there's really just no hope. Yeah, I think that's mainly when have I not read is during school time and like GCSEs, A-levels, that kind of thing is when I don't read or haven't read because I don't do them anymore. Okay, yeah, I've always read. So it started off with Beatrix Potter. It probably didn't. It was like different shit, wasn't it, really? Let's face it. Where did you start reading? Probably in my room, in my first house, when I don't even know when you start reading. When do you learn to read? I don't know. But probably under the age of 5. I'm going to guess it was under the age of 5, so I'm going to guess it was in my first house. There we go. Okay, so I think the setup might be a bit different, but my video cut out the last one, so I think I got to about question 10 before it did that, so I'll just carry on from that. Sorry. What kind of books do you like reading the most? So I read a lot of fantasy outside of uni, YA fantasy, adult fantasy. That's kind of my main genre that I read. But because of uni, I read obviously quite a lot of classic literary books, like I just did a Victorian module, a Renaissance module, so Shakespeare and like Charlotte Bronte, that kind of thing. Actually, going to uni, I did a Greek literature module last year, and that kind of got me into like Greek mythology and kind of mythology based like books. So I just read Stephen Fry's Mythos and Heroes, which was really good. Would highly recommend. Very interesting. If you're interested in kind of Greek mythology, really good depiction of that, and it gives you a really good basis of kind of all the Greek mythology, like kind of what you need to know. If you're going to do an English literature degree, I would recommend reading it beforehand if you know that they're going to do Greek literature. I wish I'd read it the year before, but you know, hey ho. Yeah, that's basically it. So I'm kind of looking at more mythology kind of books to read. That's the last question. I hope you've enjoyed this video and fancy sticking around for the next video, which will be a bookish related video. Yes, it will be. Safe to say that. Probably a book review of some sort because I've just finished the last book in J. Kristoff's Nevernight series, so I want to do a review on that because I have a lot to say. And yeah, see you then. Bye.